Thank you all. Good morning and welcome to the Vashon Island Unitarian Universalists. My name is Julia Lakey, and I'm going to be the service leader today. If you're visiting, please participate as you feel comfortable, and you're invited to stay and introduce yourself in conversation following the service. Our congregation is committed to individual freedom of belief, welcomes diversity, seeks to promote a sense of community, which you certainly can feel in this room, and fosters religion, which enriches the spirit. We're a mostly lay-led community, and right now, kind of entirely, till we get a new part-time minister, strengthened and enriched by weaving together the volunteer contributions of members and friends. So as we begin our service, please take a moment to just center yourself, maybe close your eyes if you're comfortable, and let's take a couple of deep breaths together. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Swabash Native people. The Puyallup people have lived and stewarded these lands since the beginning of time, and they continue to do so today. We recognize that our land acknowledgement is a small step toward true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land and beyond. Whoever you are, whoever you love, however you arrived here, you belong here. I'd like to invite Maya to come up for our chalice lighting.
This morning, our chalice lighting is by Louise Hay. She was an author and self-help pioneer. And actually, if you're as old as most of us are, you probably know who she is. Let us light our chalices together in person and online with these words. There is so much love in your heart that you could heal the entire planet. But just for now, let us use this love to heal you. Feel a warmth beginning to glow in your heart center, a softness, a gentleness. Let this feeling begin to change the way you think and talk about yourself.
So today's session is organized by the Social and Environmental Justice team. And we selected a wonderful person from the Dove organization, Lillian Adams, and she worked with me, and the readings that you're hearing, plus of course her talk, she helped organize. So she has a tremendous spiritual center to her that really contributed to this service, and I'm so grateful for it. So Lillian serves as the legal advocate and community engagement facilitator with our Dove Project, our amazing Island Dove Project, supporting survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and small crime of victimization across our island and King County. She holds a master's degree in sexual and gender-based violence and human rights law from the United Nations University, and is committed to building safety, empowerment, and community care. Raised in the Center for Spiritual Living tradition, Lillian grew up deeply connected to the principles of love, compassion, and the inherent wholeness of every person, values that continue to guide her work today. As a survivor herself, she believes in the transformative power of self-love, collective healing, and the spiritual truth that every person deserves to live in safety and dignity. Lillian is honored to be with our congregation today to share her story, her work, and her heart. She's going to begin by guiding us in a meditation centering around self-love and extending love to those around us and forgiveness.
Good morning, everyone. Let me establish a relationship with this microphone. Does that sound good? Okay. So let's take a moment to settle back into our seats. Allow your spine to lengthen gently, your shoulders to soften, your jaw to unclench. If it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to rest your hands in your lap, facing outwards towards the room, and gently allow your eyes to close if you're comfortable. Let's begin with one slow breath in and a warm, unhurried breath out. Again, inhale, filling your body with air. And exhale, letting your whole being soften. Bring your awareness to your heart center, the quiet space behind your chest. And imagine a small, steady glow of light there. It may be soft pink, warm gold, or any color that feels nourishing to you. With each inhale, imagine this light expanding. And with each exhale, imagine it softening you from the inside out. And I invite you to quietly repeat after me. I am loving. I am loved. I am a conduit of love. Now let that truth settle into your body. Let it wrap around the parts of you that may have been hurting, hiding, or working too hard. Offer yourself that love that you've longed for and the love you give so easily to others. Now imagine that warm light in your chest expanding into your belly and beyond your body. Allow this light to grow around you with each breath, expanding to the people in this room, expanding further into your community, to the island, and the people beyond. Let it reach the people you care for, friends, family, pets, mentors, the ones who anchor you. Maybe those who need a little extra love, healing, forgiveness. Picture them receiving it like a soft blanket draped gently over their shoulders, and silently offer with me, may you feel safe. May you feel loved. May you feel whole. Now, bringing our awareness back to our heart, I invite you to notice if there is any tightness, heaviness, or old story sitting there. You don't have to name it or understand it. Simply acknowledge it. And imagine that same compassionate light surrounding whatever pain or resentment you may be carrying there. Not pushing or demanding, just softening. And one more time, repeat with me. I forgive myself for being human. I release what no longer protects me. And I offer forgiveness where my heart is ready. Returning to 3 slow breaths, let us inhale light and exhale softness. Inhaling love for yourself and exhaling love for others. Inhaling peace and exhaling release. And you can place one hand over your heart if that feels comfortable. Feel that warmth, that life, that pulse of your own existence. And when you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes, carrying this gentleness and this love with you. Thank you. I'll be back.
It's very special. So we are going to be singing our first hymn, I'm Surrounded by Love. And it's a single line, and Kat will guide us in it, and then we'll just be carrying it on.
Yeah.
No, it's just one line.
Keep that meditation feeling there. Just join in when you feel like it'll just keep going. I am surrounded by love. 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 I am surrounded by love.
And our opening reading is by Roger.
Good morning. Just have to say I like this reading just because of the time of year. If many of you are hiking or walking around, whether it's through the woods or through your yard, and it's the time of year where all the different mushrooms are coming up in all their different colors and shapes, and it's fun to see them rising up. The opening reading is from Rebecca Solnit, a writer and activist who wrote these words. After a rain, mushrooms appear on the surface of the earth as if from nowhere. Many do so from a sometimes vast underground fungus that remains invisible and largely unknown. What we call mushrooms, mycologists call the fruiting body of the larger, less visible fungus. Uprisings and revolutions are often considered to be spontaneous, but less visible long-term organizing and groundwork or underground work often laid the foundation. Changes in ideas and values also result from work done by writers, scholars, public intellectuals, social activists, and participants in social media. It seems insignificant or peripheral until very different outcomes emerge from transformed assumptions about who and what matters, who should be heard and believed, who has rights. Ideas at first considered outrageous or ridiculous or extreme gradually become what people think they've believed. It recalls that power comes from the shadows and the margins, that our hope is in the dark around the edges, not the limelight of center stage. Even things that seem to happen suddenly arise from deep roots in the past or from long dormant seeds.
So, many years ago, some of you heard this last night. A lot of you came to the show last night. I wrote this. This is a love song, "Friend." There aren't enough of those out there. But the tune that goes with it was composed by a man named Andy Cutting from England. It's called "The History Man," and it's one of my favorites. And it seems to fit. When you lay your head to rest with no strength to stand, when your kingdom is laid waste by some careless hand, when your pillow is a stone on a bed of sand, when you find yourself alone in a stranger's land, when the voice that sounds most clear is your need, hear this echoed far and near. You are safe with me. Oh, you live at one dead run on the shifting ground. 10 sing for the starting gun, deaf to softer sounds. Day and night, something, someone seems to hunt you down. Hear my voice, take my hand, stop and turn around. When you start this race again, take these words for free, my own, my true, my trusted friend.
again. That was a beautiful song, and I think perfect for today. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for welcoming me here. I have to be honest, being here in your loving presence, it feels very healing, and it's making me quite emotional. I can already feel myself ready to cry, so I'm going to do the best I can to hold it together and get through this as eloquently as possible. I will. I'm just giving you a warning. But yes, being here feels like a return to a place that my spirit recognizes. I was raised in the Center for Spiritual Living tradition, science of mind teachings, meditation circles, songs about light, oneness, and the power of our thoughts. And those teachings were the first place that I learned that every person is inherently whole, even when life experiences try to convince us otherwise. I grew up in a home shaped by instability, trauma, and adversity. And as a child, I didn't have language for what I was experiencing. I only knew that I felt small, unsafe, and very often alone. Those who were meant to protect me hurt me and exploited me. Sorry, crying. My first impressions of this world were shaped in darkness and in that hurting. And although I didn't receive the love that I needed and deserved from my parents, I found that love someplace else. I found that love in spirit, in community, and with time, I found it within myself. I also had my granny, a watercolor painter, a yoga teacher, a deeply spiritual woman. She was the first person who taught me that light lives inside us, no matter how dark our surroundings seem. She helped me understand that the trauma I endured was meant to shape me into the healer I am today, to give me the gift of understanding, compassion, and hope. Okay. That path took me very far. I studied anti-human trafficking work in college. I traveled to Kathmandu, Nepal, and volunteered in infant orphanages, seeing firsthand the universal nature of both trauma and resilience. Later, I pursued my master's degree in sexual and gender-based violence and human rights law from the United Nations, diving deep into the ways violence is woven into our systems and institutions, not just our individual lives. Thank you, Julia. And I learned that violence is not just personal, it's cultural, spiritual, universal. Living through violence is something that connects each and every one of us, just like love. In 2018, my hometown was destroyed by the Paradise Camp Fire. My granny lost her home in the midst of navigating early dementia and Parkinson's. Oh my gosh. As you can see, it was one of the hardest experiences of my life. Watching her home and her art and all of the physical representations of her disappear alongside her memories. But in that time of caring for her, I saw a reflection of my younger self. I could see that she felt so small and confused and helpless and afraid. And I realized that I had become the safe and loving presence for her that she once was for me. It was a full circle moment that taught me healing does not just transform us. It gives us the opportunity to become a source of healing for others. All of these experiences, these chapters of pain and beauty and growth, eventually led me to where I am now, working as a legal advocate and community engagement facilitator with the Dove Project on Vashon Island. Now, I never woke up one day and thought, I would love to work in the legal system. But I did continue to hear a quiet inner voice whispering to me to help people feel safe, to help them feel seen, to help them remember who they are and their own power. And working at the Dove Project is the natural expression of that calling. It's the intersection of my lived experience, education, spirituality, and my belief in the profound resilience of the human spirit. At the Dove Project, I support survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and other forms of crime victimization. I walk people through protection orders, court systems, safety planning, crisis response, and the long, winding path of healing. But more than anything, what I do is hold space, just like you're doing for me today. Space for people to be believed, to be supported, and to be met with compassion. So, here is what I know through both my lived experience and my professional one. Trauma has a way of disconnecting us. It separates us from our bodies, from our communities, our sense of safety, and sometimes from our own spirit. But the truth I've learned is this: healing is not becoming someone new. It is remembering who we have always been and giving ourselves permission to be that person each and every day. Safety and dignity are not luxuries, they are spiritual rights that belong to all of us. And healing is a sacred act of returning to our own light. Every day, I witness extraordinary courage. Survivors who take the next step even when they are afraid. Survivors who rebuild their lives, their identities, their families. Survivors who discover strength they didn't know they had. And I believe deeply that a community's role is not to fix people, but to hold them with compassion as they find their way back to themselves. You don't need a fancy degree or fancy job title to be a part of someone's healing. You can be a safe person by listening without rushing to solve, believing without questioning, offering presence instead of judgment, and creating spaces where people can be their whole selves. Spiritual communities, especially ones rooted in compassion and curiosity like this one, are uniquely positioned to hold survivors in a way that honors both their humanity and their spirit. Being and growing in a community like this one saved my life. And I want you all to know how truly impactful your presence and your love are. I'm almost done. My life has taught me this. The light never goes out. It may dim, it may flicker, but it remains, and it forever holds the capacity to grow. Healing is the journey of learning to see it again. And I am so deeply honored to share a bit of my light with you today and to be part of this community dedicated to nurturing the light in others. So thank you so much for having me. And I was going to do the transition, but I forgot what I was supposed to say. Thank you.
Well, Lillian, that's very special what you were able to share with us. And what it brings forth in me is this realization that in this community, we can afford to be vulnerable. And I'm glad you felt free enough to be yourself with us and let your message and your tears all mingle. It was amazing. So thank you. So let's hold a moment of contemplation and worship. in a generous and abundant silence.
This is number 118. A little faster, This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Listen to that first verse again. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine.
Now we come to our joys and concerns. So we are going to pause the recording as we prepare to finish the service. So as members and friends of the Vashon Island Unitarian Universalists, we commit to supporting our congregation, and the financial resources help us pay speakers and staff and support our social justice programs and maintain our building. And your pledges and offerings support VIUU so that we can continue to be a vital community. And our congregation engages beyond our walls for peace, social and economic justice, freedom of belief, and protection of our planet and its inhabitants. And once a month, we contribute the financial offering to a regional, national, or international organization that aligns with our values. This week's offering supports Dove here on Vashon. And donations allow Dove to continue its life-saving work with survivors of domestic violence in our community. Every investment in Dove is an investment in a family's future. Staff provide youth and family education and some mental health services for people with trauma. So checks can be written to Dove and any cash in the offering baskets will also support Dove. If you have a check for your tithing to VIUU, please write that in the memo line. And now our greeters will be passing around the baskets and we'll join in singing We Give Thanks.
We give thanks for this precious day, for gathering here this far. Give thanks for this precious day. We give thanks for this precious day. We're all gathered here and those far away for the time we share with love and care. We give thanks for this precious day.
Okay, our closing thing is provided by Jerry.
Your message was wonderful. And what I'm about to read, excuse me, is a continuing thread of your talk. Ken Nurburn is an award-winning author focused on Native American and general spirituality. We're not saints. We're not heroes. Our lives are lived in the quiet corners of the ordinary. We build tiny hearth fires, sometimes barely strong enough to give off warmth. But to the person lost in the darkness, our tiny flame may be the road to safety, the path of salvation. It is not given us to know who is lost in the darkness that surround us, or even if our light is seen. We can only know that against even the smallest of lights, darkness cannot stand. A sailor lost at sea can be guided home by a single candle. A person lost in the wood can be led to safety by a flickering flame. It is not an issue of quality or intensity or purity. It is simply an issue of the presence of light.
And we'll be extinguishing the chalice with Maya.
I'm back with Louise Hay. We extinguish our chalices with these words by Louise Hay. Today is a new day. Today is a day for you to begin creating a joyous, fulfilling life. Today is a day to begin to release all your limitations. Today is the day for you to learn the secrets of life. You can change your life for the better. You already have the tools within you to do so. These tools are your thoughts and your beliefs.
Opening is better. Please join me in listening to Kat for our musical selection.
This is a This is an instrumental. I wish, for some reason, I'm blanking on the name of it. It was one that everybody in the Chicago Irish scene knew, and then the Scottish music world too, and now it's being used for, I guess, for the Revolutionary War series. And it's a tribute, and it's a tribute. But I don't remember the name of the man it was tributed to. If this ever gets out, I'll be thrown out of the Irish music scene. Everywhere. Yes, thank you. Hector the Hero.
Oh, it takes a community, huh? Communal memory. So thank you for participating in today's service here at Lewis Hall and online. And we'll have refreshments, and if you want a little time to chat with Lillian afterwards. But first we move into some announcements. And since this is the first Sunday of the month, I'd like to call up everyone who has a birthday this month. So we can wish you a happy birthday and give you your candle. Your lovely, colorful. Oh my gosh. Look at those. Okay, let's hear the singing. That's great. So, you know the drill about making announcements. If you just line up on either side. I'm going to start out with the first one because I'm here. And that is that it takes a whole community to make the kind of offering you see today and the kind of support we give to one another. And I'm actually on a committee that makes sure that we have people who will be on the board and the various committees. And we have great coverage right now. But I just want to invite you, maybe you've decided that you're in a role that you're ready for a little bit of change, or maybe you're somebody who's kind of new to our congregation. I told Roger I was going to use him as my piece. And yeah, he's getting out of the way. Roger and his wife have only been on the island a short amount of time. They joined our congregation. Then he joined the Social and Environmental Justice Committee. And then I asked him if he'd start to be a reader. So see how easy that is? So those of you who, doesn't he look comfortable with it? Yeah. So I just want to invite you, if you're fairly new or you're ready for kind of a change in role, you can sit in on a program committee meeting, you can sit in on a board meeting, you can learn about some of these committees, but let's expand and strengthen every bit of community that we are. And yes, hospitality team is a great start, coming and making this place cheery and bringing food. What's not to like? Okay. Yeah, we've got a men's group, a women's group, and there are signups for various things over here too. Okay, come on up, Jackie.
So the women's group has finally decided to kick off their gathering, and it will be Wednesday, starting at 6, going until 8:30 at my house. A lot of thanks goes to Maya, who's really helped put things together. And I would like to see a good turnout. And I have not had many RSVPs, and it's very discouraging, but it's very heartening to know there's so many women here that could come together, and it'll be a potluck for a little while, and then we'll have the gathering where we light the chalice and everyone has an opportunity to speak and talk about what's on their mind. So it's an opportunity to get to know other women and good vibes. I really hope I get an RSVP from some of you, and it would help if it was in writing and texting me, because then I can determine how to set up the room and how many chairs extra chairs and stuff I need. So I really would look forward to seeing you all there if you can come. And I do have these flyers. I'm going to pass them around to some of the women. Think about it. I'd like to see you there. Attractions are over there. And then also on this little piece of paper.
I'm Pam. I wanted to follow up because I had wanted to come to that, but then I found out that both of our grandchildren are performing in concerts that night, and so we have to go and see them perform instead. So I'm going to have to miss that. Well, we want to go. Yes, we get to go. I wanted to just share that I play in the Vashon Maury Island Chamber Orchestra, and we have a concert that's coming up on December 21st at VCA, and I think it's 7:30 to 9:30. So, and the Krell's going to be there too. But anyway, we'd love to have anyone attend that's able to get there.
My name's Catherine. I'm here to tease next Sunday. As Lillian so beautifully pointed out, our theme this month is choosing hope. And I'm hopeful that you'll join us next Sunday. We're going to have a visiting UU minister, Reverend Linda Hart. She was from the Tahoma UU, was like our minister in waiting or whatever before. What do you call it? Consulting minister. And she's coming back. She's going to talk about how we can have hope in this really hard time. She's going to reach deep into our UU history, values, and principles. So hope to see you next Sunday.
Hi, I'm Matt. I have four things, if I don't forget, to say. First, I'd like to thank Vicki, who found the poinsettias and brought them in, and we'll care for them over the next week and bring them back in so we have the decoration. Thank you, Vicki. Secondly, I want to thank Tanya and Ann and George and Amy for coming last night and riding in the parade with me and Carl. That was a lot of fun, and we had nice signage for the Unitarian Universalists, Vashon Island, on the truck. That was good. Nextly, Tanya has really set up a great program today after the service to make swags. And we worked hard to get greens and get all the materials in, and I really hope that everybody will stay, or as many as can stay and enjoy. And I do believe we have extra greens too. If people can't stay, they may take some greens, right? And do that work at home. How many did I get through? 3. What was the fourth one? Oh, this is so funny because we were talking about it today. But and it's way off of time, but the Strawberry Festival parade, it's important that we were talking about it today because of the parade last night. But last year we have a banner, and but I heard that 2 people held the banner, and that was our representation, right? Yeah, Roger and Tanya. And so this year, and how I like to plan early, but we even talked about all having matching shirts or something for the parade so that we stood out. And so think about that as we move into the new year and everything. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Just a reminder that there's a circle dinner coming up on Friday, the 13th, and that will be at Saturday the 13th, excuse me, at Jonathan Stevens. There are a couple more spots. There's a sign-up sheet by the food. Please sign up.
Hello again. Just wanted to remind or let any of the men in the congregation know that men's group is meeting this Thursday, the 11th. And Bill Noller is welcoming us into his home. I guess it's kind of a new thing that we're meeting at people's homes, which is kind of nice, warm, welcoming way to get to know each other and talk about issues that we feel are important. But wanted to invite you, if you're interested, if you haven't already signed up, there is a sign-up sheet over on the side over here. If you're interested in becoming part of the men's group, we're going to be meeting Thursday at 4 o'clock, and it's scheduled to be 90 minutes, so 4 until 5:30.
Well, I should have did this in joys and concerns as well, but I brought all these poinsettias here this morning, and I think there are enough that I'd like to share one with you, and I'd like to share one with Kat, because 6 is enough. We don't need 8. And then after they come back here next week, they're going to Vashon Center for the Arts because I'm the flower lady there that week. So they're getting a lot of mileage out of them, and I've had a lot of fun. And another thing I wanted to say, last night we were at the Black Cat Cabaret, and yours truly over there was so fabulous. And Ted and I were right in the front row. And Kat said, there are a lot of Unitarians here. And there were. And she said, I love to play for the Unitarians. I play there many Sundays, and I'm advertisement. We should pay her for advertising for us. There were 100 people there, and it was just, I was so proud to be with her and to have that. Yes. Oh, well, yeah, I didn't know that that was the thing, but yes, it is. So anyway, and if you don't need a swag because you already have something on your door, make one and give it to your neighbor or take it to a shopkeeper. I just really, and say, "Well, the Unitarians did this for you." And, I want to get a word out there. There seems to be so many people that I know would be so much happier, just like Ted and I are, that we found this group of people. We lived here for 38 years. We've only been here for 7. So this is, this is the highlight of our life. I love this. So let's be more verbal about talking about it. And my 5 best friends were Unitarians, and I didn't know it till I came here one time. So
Okay, I'm Kate, and Vicki just did a promo for membership, which is great. So 3 things I'll say about that. Last reminder, we're about to reissue the members and friends directory. If you haven't checked your listing to see if we messed anything up or you messed anything up or something changed or whatever, please get back to Runa in the next couple of days so we can send that out. There is a meeting next week after the service of people who are interested in membership issues. And we have talked about things like having sort of one-off activities like Tanya and Vicki are doing today as something the membership committee wants to encourage. We've talked about being a little bit more thoughtful about welcoming new people into the community and engaging them. And we're also talking more about how to make sure people know that we exist on the island, something Matt has been promoting quite successfully. He did get a notice about the troll talk in the Beachcomber a week ago. So membership has a couple of things that they're interested in. If you want to hang out with us, we'll probably be in the office after the service next week. And if anybody wants information about membership and how does one become a member and what does it all mean anyhow, talk to me or another board member.
Hello, I'm Rick, and I just have a public announcement. It may not be necessarily VIUU, but so as you know, we also inhabit this island along with our friendly pests, the raccoons. So this is a news alert, Thursday, December 4th, and this is what I'd like to report. A raccoon entered a liquor store the other day and drank his fill of rum, moonshine, even peanut butter whiskey, then passed out on the floor of the bathroom. The raccoon entered the ABC liquor store in Ashland, Virginia, but it could be Vashon Island, Washington, through the ceiling early Saturday. It wreaked havoc, said Carol Meyer, the public relations manager of the Virginia ABC. It broke several bottles and consumed the spirits in addition to the rum, moonshine, and peanut butter whiskey. The raccoon got into some vodka and seasonally appropriate eggnog. It triggered the security system, which led the police and animal control to respond. An animal control officer found the raccoon face down on the bathroom floor, and then put it in a carrier and took it to the shelter.
Thank you, Rick. We never know what to expect in here, do we? I just want to point out that the social and environmental justice group has put together, we'll be having a poster up, but also we have this just single page in the dark times that we see and the larger picture. There are on this side the 4 Ds, so things like just disrupt the machinery of fear. And the corollary to that is the affirmation, which is resonating with people's pulse. So delegitimizing the moral claim of regime and then reigniting the moral flame, which is what our community is able to do. So I had a number of these made. If you would find it helpful, please take it for your own enjoyment. And then I have one safety piece that I just want to bring up for everybody because this is an issue where I live. We're going to have an atmospheric river in the next week. And in 5 days, we're going to have a month's worth of rain. And I just want to encourage you to think about all of your drains, your downspouts, any place that might plug up and flood, or a neighbor that maybe isn't very ambulatory, and maybe you could walk around their yard and just kind of make sure that things are going to be okay. For, you know, we tend to have the roads fairly okay, but let's just make sure that we really look out for each other in the next week. Yeah. Okay. So, I also want to thank everybody on the team today, Spencer, our wonderful musician, all the readers, everybody who puts this together behind the scenes and in front. I get to just be the front person, you know? So now let us sing ourselves out with Go Now in Peace.